Welcome back. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has celebrated Diwali with the Indian Navy, marking his 12th Diwali with the armed forces. After pushing for Swadeshi goods in his earlier Diwali message to the nation, Prime Minister Modi celebrated his Diwali by addressing Navy personnel atop INS Vikrant, India's first indigenously built aircraft carrier. The PM also interacted with Navy braves, feeding them sweets on the auspicious occasion. The Prime Minister asserted that he was fortunate to be spending the holy festival with the brave soldiers, as he referenced the tremendous coordination displayed by the tri-services during Operation Sindoor. Hailing the armed force as well as India's indigenous defense capabilities, as he stated that during Operation Sindoor, the very name of Vikrant sent shockwaves through Pakistan. But also in a sweet display, the Prime Minister fed sweets to the Jawans atop INS Vikrant off the coast of Goa and Karwar. The Jawans also held a cultural program for the Prime Minister, where they sung various patriotic songs, including the song Kasam Sindoor Ki, which was written by the armed forces to commemorate the success of the armed forces during Operation Sindoor. While on board INS Vikrant, the Prime Minister also went to the flight deck, surrounded by the MiG-29K fighters, and witnessed the air power demo, takeoff and landing of MiG-29 fighters on a short runway. Joining us to look at this story in greater detail is Major General J.K. Bansal, defense expert. We also have Captain Shyam Kumar, defense expert, joining us live. Commodore Bhushan Diwan, defense expert, is live with us. Group Captain UK Devnath, former Indian Air Force officer, also joins the broadcast live. Let me make a start with you first, Major General Bansal. What you make of Prime Minister Modi's gesture today? He always makes it a point to spend Diwali with our Jawans posted at various locations across the country. And this year, 2025, was no different. The Prime Minister was on board INS Vikrant. What do you make of this gesture by the Prime Minister today on Diwali 2025?
Good afternoon. Very happy Diwali to everyone. The Prime Minister has been celebrating this, gives a great morale boosting to the Jawans. He has been to Sachin, he has been to Kargil, because those Jawans, they are away from their home. To give them a feeling, to morale their boost, that he used to celebrate with them. Now this time he has celebrated with Navy, because this Navy is this first indigenous aircraft carrier. And at the same time, the importance, to highlight the importance of Navy, which is very, very important in today's world. And we have already made about 40 various naval vessels which are indigenous, and more than nearly 70 or more than 70% part of the naval ships are from India itself. Basically, when Prime Minister is with the Jawans or with armed forces, tremendously increase their morale. There's a great morale booster. Everybody becomes so high. And he has told one thing very, very important, that yes, because we all are born from our own motherland, and our Jawan, that's why they can fight. If anybody having a height of 6.5 feet and from other part of the world, and even though you pay any amount, he will not put his heart and soul for the fighting. So he is really creating a kind of this enthusiasm amongst the all forces, whether it is Navy, Air Force, or the Army. Of course, he had been Army, and immediately after Sindoor, he was with the Air Force station. Now he is with the naval places, to making a kind of push all around. And one thing more important he told is that yes, this Pakistan was so worried about the naval they were just scared of badly and by naval fleet, because that did not come into action. But there was a great pressure on Pakistan by Navy, and not only Navy is ready for fighting, but they are ensuring the free and safe trade and moving of the commercial ships and rescue in the sea. So this is a very big thing, and I really appreciate that the kind of enthusiasm he put in soldiers and naval officers. And of course, he has told about what is the characteristic of what is in detail about the INS Vikrant. INS Vikrant, there's a 262 feet length and 62 feet width, and 30 aircraft it can have. And there is a hospital also for the 15 beds. So everything putting across is that it is he is making this tradition, which has been started only after 2014 once he came into power. And one thing most important, which he really realized and putting into action is, and which he told also very correctly, that when you are having our own weapons, and then your the confidence
Yes.
is very high. That he has
Absolutely.
got.
Absolutely. Stay with us. Let me get in Captain Shamkumar also. Captain Shamkumar, what do you believe is the message that has been sent out by Prime Minister Modi today in this gesture, in this statement made by him, also in the words espoused by him while on board this vessel today just off the shore of Goa?
Thank you, Jai Hind, son of Varuna. May the Lord Varuna be auspicious upon all the families, naval warriors, and the entire country. A great message, I must say. Prime Minister's visit on board INS Virat, the indigenously made aircraft carrier, the Might weapon platform, the lethal platform that the adversaries have understood well, that when it comes to the might of the Navy, this is the platform which is going to carry out a devastating attack onto their assets. And therefore, I think this is the right time. Then the adversaries would be listening to Prime Minister from on board INS Virat, INS Vikrant, that in case there is any kind of dussahas that we call an enemy does, next time there will be some very ferocious attack onto their land. And that is what that Prime Minister has given. Every Diwali, Prime Minister goes to the family, and his family is the warriors of Army, Navy, Air Force, CAPF, Central Armed Police Forces. And again, this time, the things that he has said from the platform are very clear. The message is clear. When he went on an overnight trip to a ship, where there is a logistic requirements to meet for the Prime Minister visit at sea, when there are a fleet of 20 ships, submarines, aircrafts around him, and he is carrying out a complete maneuver at sea. It's not that he just went on board for a visit. He spent overnight and he took part in every exercise that a warship shows to the Prime Minister or the head of the country and to the world through this exercise. So what is the message that we want to know, Uday, is that the India's capability at sea, its lethal weapon platforms, its day and night operations of MiG-29, which carries the air-to-surface missiles, which is being added by DRDO for indigenously built air-to-surface missile. I'm talking about new developments. And the ALH helicopter and the seeking helicopter anti-submarine operations, PATI coordination of air attacks, air defense capability, surface-to-surface capability, and the torpedoes capability, submarine capabilities, the integrated weapon platform when the sea power is demonstrated at sea, and when there is a 200, 300 kilometers of area which is sanitized, and you carry out supremacy at sea, battle platform at sea. That is the naval might. And we all know when the Navy comes to the war, the Navy escalates into the situation when we carry out attack, the war is never withdrawn. Navy never withdraws. It carries out 360-degree approach. It does not have a bunker to hide. Once it moves forward, there is no coming back. And that is what Prime Minister gave the message as far as the operational power is concerned. He met the sailors on board.
Yes.
There are the ladies, there were
Absolutely.
naval warriors.
Absolutely, all of them. And it sent out, of course, a big message. Commodore Bhushan Diwan, given the fact that also the sea was a very critical, area during Operation Sindoor. The Navy played a very critical role during Operation Sindoor, and which is why Sindoor figured a lot in the Prime Minister's program today in his messaging, and also with the Jawans singing a song, based on Operation Sindoor today as well for PM. Commodore Diwan, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
Now your voice is through with us. Yes, go ahead.
I'm saying a very important message of war strategy is, such a war is great which is won without fighting. No direct kinetic action took place on the part of Indian Navy in Op Sindoor. But the way we kept Pakistanis boxed up to get a solid pummeling and permitting from Indian Army and Indian Force, that is a yardstick. I mean, it is well known in a geostrategic sense, naval force are truly aggressive forces meant for projection of sea power across the world. An aircraft carrier, when it moves along with a flotilla, it looks as if a part of India has gone at the doorstep of the enemy. That is the kind of importance for aircraft carriers. And the point is, the way this exercise is being, this event, which is being held, where Prime Minister Modi is addressing the Indian naval personnel for the first time, if I recall, since he began his tradition in 2014 every Diwali, addressing armed forces. The message is, this will happen near Karwar. I am ex-National Defence Academy. There, you can see perceived 7,000 acres is the area of NDA Khadakwasla. This is 12,000 acres going to be the Asia's largest naval base. It's an important message. And able to berth 50 warships. And another important thing, in the 71 war in which I took part, in that war, we had faced a bit of problem, bit of bottleneck. Why? Mumbai, though a natural harbor, a very crowded one. But Karwar is a truly greenfield project started by late Admiral Dawson, and it was launched in 2005. Almost 20 years have passed. Phase 1 is already over. Phase 2 Alpha is in progress. The point is, a deep water natural harbor can take an aircraft carriers, not very far from sea lanes, and also not very close. So a total freedom of operation. So, and very good thing is that very novel capability is the ships can be lifted by docking, undocking, lifting the ship. You can imagine this. So the point is, we are rightly, truly, if Indian Navy has to become a blue water Navy on the western coast, Karwar is the name of the game. And if we have to dominate, Indian Navy has to dominate Indian Ocean, or Indian Ocean and Indo-Pacific also. This is the place. And I think Prime Minister Modi, by being there in the function today and yesterday, has really conveyed a message. And on the world map, it has brought the importance of Karwar too. And second message it has brought about is that, almost 77% content is indigenous. So this only way, I keep emphasizing in every occasion when I get, the only way we can claim a really sustainable military muscle, the only way is we build things ourselves. If we're going to keep buying, we'll be, impoverished. So much foreign exchange, so much loss of strategic heft. There is, if we build ourselves, then what happens? We have a strategic heft, plus anytime we want to modify, modernize, add on, we can do anything. A lot of employment generation, a lot of economic growth, and a lot of exports, which gives us a strategic prominence also. So this is the way to go forward. And fortunately, as my respected panelists have mentioned, I think General Bansal mentioned, I think, the indigenization program, it's a thing to be proud of, was started by the Indian Navy out of all these services, first of all. And that is going very strong. And whether it is, warships or submarines and every control systems, radars. So this is the way. And I think it's such a remarkable thing. Hats off to Prime Minister Modi that, every Diwali he takes a chance to get face to face with the people on the ground.
Yes.
And motivate us.
Okay, absolutely. Group Captain Devnath, let me draw you in here. Group Captain Devnath, a gesture like this, what kind of messaging does it send to our Jawans as well? What sentiment is aroused in them? They're all away from their families on occasions like Diwali. To have the Prime Minister amidst them, acting like one of their own. How important is this for the morale of Jawans? What kind of sentiment does it arouse in them? And what is the overall message sent to our enemy as well? Group Captain Devnath.
Yes, so that definitely presence of Prime Minister amongst the sailors, airmen and soldiers of Indian Army definitely sends a message to the enemy. That tells the enemy that we are a mature democracy where highest level of leadership is shoulder to shoulder and sharing all the concerns of the lowest level of our Agniveers. Agniveer scheme has worked very well for Army, Navy and Air Force, and most of the sailors on Vikrant today, Uday, we can see are Agniveer naval sailors. Definitely, Navy's sailors will be very, very charmed with Prime Minister Modi's presence, and it gives a Navy and our naval sailors an opportunity to demonstrate what Navy stands for. And Navy stands for demonstration of offensive capability of Bharat. If required, our Indian Navy can dominate all the way in Arabian Sagar if we see in Arab Sea, all the way up to Persian Gulf, all the way up to Red Sea, Aden, and Horn of Africa, and up to Madagascar. In fact, our Navy is now equipped with multidimensional weapon systems, wherein it can fire its ship to surface missiles deep into Pakistan also. As far as naval sailors are concerned, they are a special breed. They learn how to stay like a close family within a ship for months together. And presence of Prime Minister Modi definitely fires up all the josh in our sailors. Sailors, when they are away from their family, they definitely look forward to meeting their family. But like it happens in any organization, especially in armed forces, during Diwali, say on Vikrant, if there are 2,000 sailors, out of 2,000, only maybe 100 or 200 sailors will be able to go to home for Diwali. Remaining 1,800 sailors will remain on board Vikrant. Uday, this also shows India's resolve. Prime Minister and Ministry of Defense resolve to build up a navy which world will be looking at with awe, if I can use that word. Our navy has more than 150 surface and subsurface vessels, two aircraft carriers, amphibious transport, landing ships, landing craft, destroyers, 13 of them, 17 frigates, two ballistic missile submarines we have, and minesweepers, fleet tankers. A very, very powerful navy. In coming years, we'll be adding more than 50 ships to our navy. So we'll be a 200 ship navy very soon. Pakistan Navy stands no chance in case of a future skirmish against Indian Navy. In fact, during Sindoor, Uday, we almost successfully blockaded Karachi and Gwadar. In fact, if requirement arose, then all ships transiting to and fro from Karachi and Gwadar had to take permission. Will have to take permission from Indian Navy ships to transit through North Arabian Sea. So, Prime Minister's presence shows that India has arrived as far as the Indian naval power presence in Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal, and Arabian Sea is concerned. Yes, Uday?
Absolutely. In fact, speaking to the Indian Navy atop INS Vikrant on the occasion of Diwali, Prime Minister Modi touched upon various topics, including Operation Sindoor and India's defense capabilities. Let's play you out some excerpts.
दिवाली की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। आपको भी शुभकामनाएं और आईएनएस विक्रांत की इस वीर भूमि से कोटि कोटि देशवासियों को भी दीपावली की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। और खास आपके परिवारजनों को दीपावली की बहुत शुभकामनाएं। ये हमारी अलौकिक दीपमालाएं हैं। मेरा सौभाग्य है कि इस बार मैं नौसेना के आप सब वीर जवानों के बीच ये दिवाली का पावन पर्व मना रहा हूं। भारतीय नौसेना द्वारा पैदा किए जो भय पैदा किया गया है, भारतीय वायुसेना द्वारा दिखाए गए अद्भुत कौशल ने, भारतीय सेना की जांबाजी ने, तीनों सेनाओं के जबरदस्त समन्वय ने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में पाकिस्तान को इतनी जल्दी घुटने टेकने पर मजबूर कर दिया था। साथियों, जब मुझे याद है जब आईएनएस विक्रांत को देश को सौंपा जा रहा था, तो मैंने कहा था विक्रांत विशाल है, विराट है, विहंगम है, विक्रांत विशिष्ट है, विक्रांत विशेष भी है। अभी कुछ ही महीने पहले हमने देखा है विक्रांत ने अपने नाम से ही पूरे पाकिस्तान की रातों की नींद उड़ा दी थी। सेना के लिए जरूरी ज्यादातर साजो सामान अब देश में ही तैयार होने लगा है। पिछले 11 वर्षों में हमारा डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन 3 गुना से ज्यादा हो गया है। पिछले साल तक ये रिकॉर्ड 1.5 लाख करोड़ रुपए से अधिक पहुंच गया है।
In fact, let me quickly join Major General Bansal. Major General Bansal, what is the messaging to the enemy? What is the messaging to the country's citizens? And what is the messaging to our allies through what Prime Minister Modi said?
You know, our allies, of course, the message is there, and moreover, whatever indigenous products are made in our defense system, there's so many countries, they have shown interest, and we have already had an agreement for the BrahMos with Philippines. So the allies have got a confidence now that yes, India will support them. As far as our adversaries are concerned, the message is loud and clear that they cannot dare to do any kind of misadventure with India, and that is specifically Pakistan, who always keep on making a statement. Even the General Munir was still making some statement, which they must understand that this time our defense minister has also said that in case any misadventure or dusahas if Pakistan does, then their geography and history will be changed. So, and now our weapons, most of our naval vessels, whether you take INS Surat and others, that they have got the capability for launching BrahMos missile, and which BrahMos missile has shown its to the world its capability. And now we have got the new version, which is likely to come very soon, which has got much more better speed of about 8 Mach and a range of about 600 kilometers. Every corner, inch and corner of the Pakistan is under it, because the total depth of Pakistan is around 450 kilometers, which will be covered. So this message is very loud and clear to the Pakistan. At the same time, now this, to our allies, the allied and other countries, the Indian Navy has been always doing the rescue work. They have always been protecting from the pirates to any attack on the ship like that. So this is the great message.
Yes,
which is
Captain Shamkumar, our defense capabilities as well, Prime Minister speaking about that, and speaking about it at a time where we've seen huge strides in Atmanirbharta and Make in India as well for our defense forces, and also now India looking to export a lot of this defense equipment, interest from Brazil to many other countries as well for our systems.
Uday, that is a great message. As I said, on board INS Vikrant, the indigenously made and being operated by Indian naval crew completely. I'm an aircraft carrier pilot myself. I have seen the previous Vikrant, I have seen Virat, I have seen Vikramaditya and this ship, and I've been integrated with these platforms. I'm nostalgic today to see each and every operation which is happening, each compartment, the hangar, the movement, the deck, the Prime Minister's wave off to the MiG-29K takeoff from the ski jumps. It's all next to my eyes. And why this? Because 70 to 80% of the ships, the weapon system integration, the hull, the entire designing, everything was done at CSL. I visited this ship whenever it was being made. And that is the pride moment for us, that we have produced the aircraft carrier in India. And then this gives a message to the world that we are fully integrated, operating an aircraft carrier, the fleet air arm, MiG-29K, with day and night. That is very important. Night operations. You see the photographs of Prime Minister witnessing the night MiG-29K takeoff, the seeking the MH-9 Romeo helicopters, which is anti-submarine and airs, which has capability of air to surface firing. So seeking this MS Romeo the ALH helicopter, AEW Ka-31 Russian helicopter, which carries out air defense for the ship, which is called Eyes of the Fleet. All this was displayed. So indigenous capability, the BrahMos, the BrahMos missile, which we know, 30 of them together at 40-second distance from Karachi and Gwadar port were standing for the attack.
Yes.
That capability has been battle proven, and the world looks at it. Philippines, Vietnam, or Azerbaijan,
Absolutely.
African countries, Brazil, they are looking for this because of
Yes.
cost effectiveness
Yes.
and the confidential.
And we can be a supplier for them
faith in India.
as well. Okay, let's leave it at that. My thanks to our guests for joining us. We've run totally out of time. It's time for a short break.